Alrighty, the moment we've all been waiting for. I know it, Benchmark 2, it's finally here. Before we get into it, I do want to let you guys know about some very, very important things before you take it. So make sure you watch this whole video because you're going to want to know all of this information. Trust me. So first, I know the first time we took our benchmark 1 a couple of months ago, we said that your score counted, you just had to complete it for your term 1 test scores. So that's true for this time around, but now it's also going to count toward your term 2 grade. So what does that mean? Just like your normal unit test, when let's say you score proficient, you got maybe like an 80%, the same thing's going to happen with your benchmark. So don't just zoom through it, don't just click through the answers just to check off a list, just to say you got it done. Make sure you take your time and make sure you review beforehand because you want to score as high as possible so you don't hurt yourself, okay? So the test closes at the 18th at 10 p.m. So you have this whole week and then you have all of next week as well. So don't just get on Monday morning and be like, gosh, I gotta get this done. You have 2 weeks to take, since you're 8th grade, to take 3 tests. So you have those 2 weeks to fully prepare for each test, to space them out so you're not totally making yourself crash and burn, okay? So let's be smart about how we take our benchmarks. So like I said, let's review before we take it because this is not just everything we talked about in this second term, but this goes back to term 1 as well. It's everything we've talked about this whole year, and that's a lot of information. So let's make sure we review it. So how are we going to do that? First, underneath classwork, I posted all of your term 1 notes, so make sure you look through that, and I'm also posting more and more review materials as the week goes on, so make sure you keep checking out that classwork page so you can get more ways to review because we've got a lot of vocabulary in science in case you haven't caught on to that yet. So there's a lot of stuff we got to keep up in our brain, so make sure you review it. Also, as the week goes on, I'm going to be posting different times that we can do some review quizzes. We've done a few of them. So I'm going to post a Google Meet link on the stream, and I'm going to post all the times that I'm going to be available for those as well. So you can hop on and we can beat each other in these quizzes to review all of those big terms. Okay, one last thing I want to say. Our first benchmark, we scored 24% proficient, which is really awesome. Okay, that's really good. I'm really excited because remember our goal is 40%, and that was only the first benchmark, and it was a whole different school environment. Like things were kind of crazy in case you've forgotten, and yet we're still doing amazing on these benchmarks. So keep up the good work. I have a feeling we're going to get even higher on this second benchmark. So 3 things I want to say to keep in mind. These are just things that I noticed we kind of fell off a little bit on the first benchmark, and it's going to really help us score proficient on the second one. First, make sure you email me to set up a time to take it with me over Google Meet so I can see your screen, so I can make sure you're pacing yourself correctly, because if you're rushing, I can hop on and say, excuse me, sir, slow down a little bit. You're not doing too hot. So make sure you email me a time to take it with me, and I'll give you some bonus points just for showing up for doing that. Also, make sure you aren't rushing through it. There are 35 questions on this test, so you should not be taking it in 5 minutes. That's physically impossible. So make sure you're taking at least like 40 minutes to take it. Make sure you're in a good, quiet space, as quiet of a space as you can find. I know sometimes being at home that's kind of difficult, but make sure you relax and make sure you've reviewed beforehand. Like, you know how to take benchmarks when you're in school. Try to mimic that as well as you can while you're at home. And last but not least, oh my gosh, this is one that's making me crazy. Don't leave any questions blank, you guys. Like, you aren't penalized for marking an incorrect question no more than you would be if you left it blank. So, like, you might as well guess, right? Like, put an answer. Okay, if you have any questions, please hit me up. I'm here to guide you through this benchmark. We've got this.